side of the aircraft. Exit signs are identified by a green symbol.
Uno prosciutto mozzarella, il fondo spinaci, poi al fondo, va bene? 3, grazie.
무슨 주스? Pero el que va a meter son poquita gente.
Comía y se poquita gente.
Imagínate uno con eso. Hasta ahí no llega a altura, no. 피자.
Hello, the next one.
Because if Peru was actually
the stars come to shine when it's dark? From so far away, show us where we are. What makes the sun go to sleep every night? And what's it dreaming of? I wonder. How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring down when it's gray outside? It really makes me wonder.